All right, welcome back to the Suns Player Season Preview. This is Saul Bookman, JL Bourget. We're getting into JaVale McGee, one of my favorite players actually in the NBA, because I just feel like he doesn't take himself too seriously, but he's very effective and he's very efficient on every team he's ever been on. The Nuggets really didn't use him very much last year, especially in the playoffs for whatever reason. And now JaVale has jumped ship from Denver over here to Phoenix. What do you expect from him?
Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting. I expect very good production in limited minutes from him because that's what he's done throughout most of his career, and especially over the last few years being a backup. He's going to be behind DeAndre Ayton, and he just conducts himself like a professional. You know, Monty and everyone on the team has really praised him throughout training camp for his professionalism, experience, surprising passing ability, which I'm sure we'll get into, but just being able to carry himself as another veteran on this team and give them good production and size as a backup to DeAndre Ayton that he didn't really have last year. When
we look at his stats overall, what are the few things that do stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his numbers, the production, despite only playing less than 15 minutes per game, is insane. 7 points, 5 rebounds, and a block doesn't sound like much, but I think he was top 10 in blocks per 36 minutes. So this is a guy that definitely knows how to produce in limited time, and that's going to be huge for the Suns with Dario Saric out. They have kind of this true, long, big center that they didn't really have last year. You know, Frank Kaminsky is a 7-footer, but he doesn't play like, a big rim-running alley-oop threat like JaVale does. And so it'll be good for the Suns because he can replicate a lot of the same skills that DeAndre Ayton brings to the table, and that just makes it more, it creates more continuity with the second unit.
I think one of the things that JaVale comes with is this added baggage of being on Shaqtin' a Fool so many times. People naturally think that he's like some clumsy kid, but he's not. He has a tendency to do goofy things, yes, but overall, he's been a very, very strong contributor to a lot of championship contenders and winners ultimately. How does he dispel that myth, or what would you say to dispel that myth?
Yeah, I mean, I think in my mind, he's already dispelled it over the last few years. The guy's a 3-time champion. He just won a gold medal at the Summer Olympics with Team USA. And he actually became the first mother-son duo in Olympic history to win a basketball gold medal with his mom. So that's pretty cool. But I think playing on another title contender after winning 3 titles with the Warriors and the Lakers, like, the Suns are a legitimate championship contender. And I think he's going to prove to a lot of people that, last year split between Cleveland and then not really playing much with the Nuggets, that was a mistake on Denver's part, at least. I think the Suns are going to be able to optimize him a little bit better. I think his passing is going to be underrated and it might surprise a little bit of people. And he's just a guy that brings more length and rim running off the bench for this team. He's going to put up big numbers in very, limited minutes. And I think all of that's going to show on a team like the Suns that is playing for something real this year.
Talk nerdy to me, Gerald. What are you looking for in terms of his stats? And you've also written a couple pieces about him.
Right. I think if you look at the defensive numbers, they're really impressive. And we can talk all day about what he's going to bring as an alley-oop threat. But, the guy was 10th in the NBA in blocks per 36 minutes. He was in the 93rd percentile in block percentage, 93rd percentile or better in block percentage over each of the last 6 seasons. So he's been doing this for a while now. He has a very high steal percentage and a very low foul percentage. So he is the exact type of reliable backup that Suns fans were craving for DeAndre Ayton whenever he sat down, the kind of guy that would have been really useful in that Milwaukee series when they really needed some size, some length, some shot blocking. He's a very good offensive rebounder. He's up there with DA as one of the elite guys when it comes to creating second possessions. And that's huge again because it creates that continuity with the second unit. It gives the Suns even more possessions. And just his roll gravity and interior defense are both great. All of these numbers come from the Basketball Index. And they just paint him as a two-way rim running guy. And that's going to be huge for the Suns.
Outstanding. I know Monty Williams is very high on JaVale McGee. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, let's do a little bit of role play.
Yes. So if we're asking Monty Williams, Monty, what do you see JaVale McGee's role being for this season? And who is JaVale McGee?
Well, what JaVale brings to our program is a high level of competitiveness, and he also he's very astute on the floor. He knows where he's supposed to be. He's very good defensively. Obviously, we need that. He's going to be able to help out help him grow because part of his development is to help others develop, which is also one of my Montyisms. So. He never gets happy on the farm, and I appreciate about him. He's a championship, he's a championship level competitor, obviously a gold medalist, and I think what he brings to this team is that veteran presence that we're going to need when things get a little dicey in the paint, and he's definitely going to help us out should Da ever get in foul trouble. So he just brings a whole nice roundness to this program, and I appreciate that very much.
Well, thanks for having us, Monty. I appreciate you showing up here.
Anytime. How was my impersonation?
It was better than mine, at least. If that makes you feel better. Let's move on to the last section, the anonymous scout section. Strengths, obviously, defense, athleticism, more size and physicality. If DA isn't on the floor, they shouldn't miss a beat with McGee out there, which is huge compared to last year. Weaknesses, not a real impactful guy on the offensive end, not quite the guy you throw the ball to and say, go get a bucket. I don't think anyone's expecting that. But
no, but the thing about him is that he's still an offensive threat.
Mm-hmm.
Like you still have to key in on him, especially on the pick and roll,
mm-hmm.
because he will go up and he will go get it and he will dunk on anybody.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing about JaVale McGee is, and he runs the floor very, very well too.
Mm-hmm.
So JaVale, while you wouldn't run set plays for him, he is equally as dominant on the pick and roll as Da is,
mm-hmm.
Outside of maybe the pull up jump shot. So, well, anyway, that's JaVale McGee in our season player preview. You can see more content here on PHNX Suns. Thank you.